What's up, guys? In this video we're going to be talking about how to make life magical again. I have a quote from the Bible right here that I'm going to be reading to you, and it says, "And calling to him a child, he put him in the midst of them, and said, Truly I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven." This is Matthew 18:2. This is a very important quote from the Bible because a lot of the law of attraction also is tying into that. The law of attraction states, act as if. And when you learn how to become like a child again, you can experience life and have fun. Just like a child. A child is blank. They're not coming into the world with expectations or certain assumptions. As you get older, or as we get older, we start to formulate different ideas and we start to form beliefs, and these beliefs become so hard, they become hardened, they become very deep patternized, and it becomes harder to change our beliefs as we get older and grow up, you could say. But a child is very impressionable. You can teach a child anything. A child is excited about life. A child is curious about life. And to a child, life is an adventure. And we can get back into that state if we suspend our disbelief. If we can suspend the ideas, the pre-notions, our beliefs about the world and about ourselves. Because if you think about it, when a child first enters in the world, a child is just completely blank, and they don't have any strong ideas about what the world should be is or what it's not, right? So in the Bible, they say, be like a child again. And this means also, even when you're fully grown up, in your 30, in your 40, in your 50, in your 60s, be like a child. Go play, go explore, go learn about life. Being like a child is a very, very powerful life lesson to incorporate into your whole mind, body, and spirit. Because life is truly meant to be fun. Life is meant to be enjoyed. It's not supposed to be this, work. That has its place in the world. But you see, what happens is as we get older, society starts to implant ideas to us about what life should be, or what you have to do, or what you're supposed to be doing, what are certain kind of roles and characters or things that you should have. And I want to dive deeper into something else, but I'm just giving the whole full package, the full spectrum of why being like a child is very important in the sense of manifesting the law of attraction, but also in just having a good character and having a good soul. A child is free from ego. A child doesn't have a well-developed ego just yet. And in that pure state, in that pure way of being, that is the Jesus Christ. That is divine. That is the divine child. That inner peace. That humbleness. But it's not even humble. That state of being that's pure. When a child wants to cry, it cries. When a child is happy, it's happy. When we get older, we start to act a certain way because this is appropriate. In this environment, we gotta be this way, and this way, and this way. In front of my boss, I speak professionally and I speak very well mannered. At a funeral, I cry and I'm sad. In front of my mother, I speak a certain way. This and that and this and that. Everywhere you go, you are playing a character, a role in society. But I also want to tie this into one of the biggest parts of why being a child. And there's so many great things about this. This is a great life lesson, even for me as someone who was very logical, very philosophical, blah blah blah. And logic is one of the worst faculties that you can have. And I'll talk about that some other time. When a child, have you ever noticed how a child can just imagine and just play? And a child is free of inhibitions, free of blockages? A child enjoys life and sees life as an experiment, as a playground. You remember when a child used to play with his friends or family, and then the child just had fun. They used to play pretend, play different roles, play different characters. But this was done in a very ego-friendly way, where it was about fun, it was about pleasure, it was about the experience, it was about the adventure, it was about the journey. And that in that blissful state, in that state of purity, lies in the secret of how to be happy, how to be humble, how to live freely, how to be like Jesus Christ even. A child is ego-free because the ego has not been established yet, and as well as society has not implanted enough ideas about what the child needs to be and what is the proper way to be. And truthfully, a child is supposed to be the way the child is supposed to be, that God wanted that child to be, that is within that DNA blueprint of the child. That's what's going to be the most dominant and the best for that child. So I'm just going to recap that kind of real quick, because this is a very deep topic. And I'm tying this into the law of attraction, but this is also spiritual too. Very spiritual. This right here is very spiritual. A child is very ego-free. A child just has fun. When a child is talking to people, a child is listening with the sense of eagerness, the desire to learn. How many of us, when we go somewhere or we talk to somebody and it's like, you know, I know this, I'm a know-it-all, I know this and that, this and that, this and that. And there's certain ideas about how socializing needs to be, right? But a child is just so eager to learn. And that's very powerful. Because once again, a child doesn't have any beliefs. So there's nothing blocking that filter. And the child really wants to learn. As we get older, we also lose that ability to learn, partially because of our belief systems, but also because our ego forms a sense of self, or a sense of identity, a sense of self, a concept, an avatar, a persona of what the ego or the self is. So if you deviate from the self, if you deviate from the ego, then, or that template, then it doesn't feel very comfortable. And I'll talk about that because that's another very deep topic on some other video. In addition, a child almost represents faith. A child goes forward with the attitude and expectations that, you know, things are going to be good, things are going to be okay. Unless something went wrong in the child's development. But a child also represents that faith. And this is also what's tying into that quote that I read earlier. The child will enter the kingdom of heaven. Act as if. Believe. When we get older, we form beliefs that are harder to remove, that are harder to upgrade, that are harder to expand. But a child can visualize so easily. If you tell a child, hey, can you imagine yourself flying? Can you imagine yourself in a mansion? Can you imagine yourself doing like that favorite cartoon character that you watch? A child can do that. Little girls, they play Barbie. Barbie and Ken. They are romanticizing the fantasy of a relationship with toys. And we lose that ability as we get older, as we get, you know, in our 20s, 30s, 40s, etc. But that is such a powerful gift, such a powerful trait to have, and it's very powerful not to lose that. that ability to kind of suspend that logical thinking, that belief system, and just act as if. So this here is very powerful. When you act as if, but in a childlike manner where it's like it's real, it's true. You are actualizing that experience that you are feeling like a child. When a child is flying in the air, whoa, look at me, I'm flying. And they really, really do feel that experience of flying. Versus adults, a lot of adults, we form certain things like, okay, you know, myself included, like, oh, I can't do that. That's awkward. That's embarrassing. No. I mean, how are they gonna think about me? You know, I'm too cool for that. And you know, I'm not exempt from this either. But you know, this is just a part of human nature, just a part of human reality that we want to keep a certain image to ourselves, and we want to project a certain image to other people. But one of the most attractive things, one of the most powerful things that you can do is just be like a child. Be free. Be expressive. Be freedom. That personal freedom, just like a child. Where you can go to anywhere and anyone and just start dancing. Listen, I'm not dancing, but you know, I'm saying, I'm using that as an example that you can express yourself freely without embarrassment, shame, anywhere you go, and that you express who you are. Obviously, you do have to juggle this a little bit because sometimes you gotta be professional. You have to be a little bit more, you know, humane. You gotta be more in the modern society. Yet at the same time, you want to form that attitude that I'm free, like a child. If I want to go dancing down the street, I can. If I want to go naked down the street, I can. Everyone is so hardened by their belief systems about how the way the world operates. But you don't have to do that. And I'm not saying that you need to like go crazy or go wild, you know, every single day. But it's something to cultivate so that you are exploring more and more in life. Alright, so I'm just going to end this video real quick. This is a very important life lesson to learn, which is just to be like a child again. Suspend your limiting beliefs. You can learn from anyone and anyone. Anyone that you meet, you can learn from. Anyone that you meet, you can learn something from. Their life wisdom, their life experience. And just like a child is so eager to learn, so eager, and they have a strong desire to want to grow up and improve and be their best versions. And as we get older, we lose that ability to imagine. We lose that ability to be curious. We get so defeated by life that we just kind of lose hope and sense of purpose. And we get so rigid by our past experiences, by our past, about how the way the world should be. And this is a very, very, very deep topic. Very deep. A child is also ego-friendly. A child, you know, just can go to any conversation and just listen. In the modern human society, we have this kind of concept of social status, also a frame battle between who's going to be leading the interaction. But when you notice something, children don't do that. Children are just having fun and they're just playing. And similarly, that's what we want to incorporate and adapt into ourselves as adults, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever. At some point, you'll discover that life is just about having fun. Life is just about being happy. So you want to suspend those limiting beliefs. Be ego-free, learn from everyone, have the faith like a child, visualize and imagine just like a child does. That's all for me today. This was on how to make life magical again. Please visit me on ProsperityLifeHacks.com. In ProsperityLifeHacks.com, you will learn the secrets to reality. You will also learn how to optimize your success with very powerful strategies, really ancient and secret strategies. I'm an enlightened teacher. I teach mysteries and answers about life. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.